And now, live from Pod Cabin in Burbank, California, it's the Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Allison welcomes a guest. She's a highly successful writer and producer who has met many celebrities and isn't thinking at all about whether Amy Gustafson is aware of this. It's Robin Shorr. And he's a comedian and writer who will tell his grandchildren stories about living through this time, and they will all involve boss fights in Elden Ring. It's Jordan Morris. Tone Zone is here to humbly acknowledge that he is, in fact, showered and shoesed, and his delicate skin has touched nary a robe. And her husband Daniel saying hop on board the love bus and say hello to your new best friend, Allison Rosen.
Allison Rosen. Allison Rosen is your new best friend. Allison with her good times never end. Allison Rosen doing the wavy pencil dance again. Allison's your new best friend.
Hello, my little raspberry fig bars. Welcome to another exciting episode of Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. That particular carbohydrate was sent in on Patreon by Karen. Just one name, Karen with a C. Listen, I've been saying for a while that I would like to, because oftentimes I will give my Patreon spiel right here and then I introduce my guests. But I've been saying I want to move it to later in the show because I just feel like maybe I spend too much time on it here. And I was thinking maybe this will be the show where I move it, but I can feel like it's not going to be. So much on Patreon. I almost did it, Tony, and then the last one, I wasn't ready for such a big change. And
I know, but you're making it better by talking about it even more, though.
I know.
That's what the listeners want.
They want the show before the show.
They want to see your process.
Yeah.
That is what this show is. I invite them in. And it's funny because Jordan Morris, whom I have not introduced yet, but I think they know the voice, loves when podcasters talk about what they're going to talk about instead of just talking about it.
I thrive. I love it. I can't get enough. Why are you doing the show? Talk about your headphone issues. Talk about why the show is late this week. That's to me, that's podcasting.
That's the show.
That's the show.
That's the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right
Talk
there.
Talk about why the one co-host was late.
Guys.
That's the show.
You guys, this is what they tune in. This is what they tune in for. Anyway, we've got bonus episodes of The Friend Zone. We've got a level where you can text me and I'll text you back. We've got video of this that we're recording right now. We've got, you can submit carbohydrates. You can submit questions for the guests. And if you sign up for a year, you get 2 months free, 12 months for the price of 10.
That's a good deal.
Okay. Anyway, patreon.com/Allison Rosen. It's so much fun.
Patreon.
I would like to welcome my guest to the show, the aforementioned Jordan Morris. Hello.
Hi. It's great to be mentioned now. It's great to be mentioned afore. Boy, Daniel really nailed me in that opening with the Elden Ring thing. Was that a guess, or have we actually talked about it?
No, we've never talked. I know how much you like Bloodborne.
I'm that predictable.
And so
yeah, I am very into to the point where I play it till my head hurts. This new video game, Elden Ring, which is like a very kind of Dungeons and Dragons-y quest that co-written by George R.R. Martin. If that gives you any idea of what the flavor of this thing is, huh?
Is it evident while you're playing it that it has his hand in the writing?
I would say so. It is. It is part of a kind of a larger video game universe. And the company is From Software, and I would say that it is more of a From Software product than a George R.R. Martin product. Again, I only watched the Game of Thrones TV show. I didn't read the books, and I haven't read his other kind of weirdo superhero novels or anything. But I think this is more of a From Software product than a.
One question, and then I know that Allison's already thinking about other things, so we'll move on. I can
That's
just
right.
No, we don't need to talk about this for.
That's
I
the
tried
show,
playing
though.
Bloodborne.
That's the show.
This is the show. But I can tell you about how I found the flask of wondrous physic.
Jordan, I tried playing Bloodborne
atop my spectral steed.
I had to quit because it was hard, and it would start like you die and you'd start back at the beginning of the level, like old school video games. It was just like, it was like too frustrating, like too difficult. Is this that hard?
Yeah, kind of yes and no. It's a little bit more welcoming, but the like, so these games are known for being like very hard, and they kind of have these old school video game mechanics where there's not a save point every 10 feet. Like if you die, you have to go back to the beginning. You lose some of your shit. Level. Yeah, it's for people who like to like memorize attack patterns. I would say this one is a little bit more welcoming, but the hard shit is still pretty hard. Okay, but it's great and rewarding. I think if you wanted to get into them, this is the time.
So let me get this straight. In the days since I played Super Mario Brothers and Kid Icarus, Duck Hunt,
great,
something where you ran, World Runner or something.
Hyperload Runner, maybe? Hyperload Runner?
I don't think so, but maybe, I don't know. I went on a big quest to find the name of it because it was actually like a first-person running game, and it was very weird and surreal. And then actually some listeners found it, and this listener sent me this emulator so I could actually like pull it up and play it again. It was amazing. Wow. But it had
Great
this
listeners.
very like kind of prosaic, like surprisingly boring name, because I thought it had this like wacky name to match the wacky graphics, but it was just called like 3D World Run. I think it was called 3D World Runner or something, actually. But anyway, so in the time since then, they have made video games so easy. And yes, I'm coming out swinging. That now when you die, you don't have to go back to the beginning of a level or of the beginning. You just start up again where you were. Daniel, don't hide your face behind the microphone.
And, you know, in video games a lot, there are no lives anymore. So, you can just die as many times as you want to until you finish the game. And I think that video games have changed a lot. So I think, you know, back in the Nintendo days, they could only hold 8 levels. Mm-hmm. So to get your $60 worth, you have to just make this thing so fucking hard that a kid can play it for a year. And I think now, a game, you can just make it big enough and involved enough to where you can play it for a year. But this particular franchise of games has that vast scope, but also has the kind of like punishing difficulty of the games of our youth.
Where are the stakes in these other games where there's no punishing difficulty?
Well, I
is
think
it not really about that?
You're going on a journey.
Okay.
You know, you're there to see it. You're there to experience the story. The stories are so much more important now. So I think it's it. Yeah, just the values people look for in games are a little bit different.
I see.
The video games of our youth were almost like tests of skill.
Right. Yes, and memorization too. It's like, can you memorize this shit?
Right.
Whereas this is like a journey, like you said, a journey of story. Robin Shorr, hello, welcome.
Hello.
Do you video game? Do you play video games?
I don't video game. I heard the name Elden Ring, and I thought it was a suppository for geriatric people. I don't know what you're talking about.
When I hear Elden Ring, I just think of that guy on the Cosby Show, which is not a fun reference anymore.
Oh, Eldon. Yeah, sure.
Are you talking about Murphy Brown? Or was there an Eldon on the Cosby Show, too?
There was the painter from Murphy Brown was Eldon, but also the eldest daughter, Sandra's husband, was Eldon.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Elvin?
Oh,
yes.
Elvin. I think you're right.
Elden Ring could be another video game. It could be about elfin people. Elvish.
Yes, an Elden Ring.
And that actor, by the way, do you guys remember when that actor who played Elvin on the show, somebody took a picture of him working at Trader Joe's?
Yes.
No.
And it went viral, and it was like, look at this guy. He's on the Cosby Show. Now he's at Trader Joe's. And then all of these people, like big producers, were like, yeah, that's what you got to do. And I think he got a bunch of jobs off of that to sort of what's the reverse shame the person that had posted them, because he's a great actor, and sometimes you got to work at Trader Joe's, you know?
By all accounts, Trader Joe's seems to be a pretty solid place to work.
Yeah, everyone there
so, too.
seems happy. They always want to know what I'm doing for the weekend.
Oh, they have.
And that's because
it's fun this weekend.
It's not because they have to do that. It's because they're so happy. They just want to know about weekends.
They do have it's been a long time since I've been there, but they have a lot of questions about what you're buying. And I always wonder, like, are they forced to ask? I think they must be. Hello, Daniel Quantz.
Oh, hi. Hello. Oh, thank you.
And hello, Tony.
Hi, Al.
Tony Thaxton.
I love it.
Drop live.
Beautiful.
I did it
Wow.
live.
That was
Live drops.
so
Live
good.
drops.
Okay, so just
Patreon.
I love it. It's a concert, a drop concert. Daniel. So just to recap.
Monsters of drops.
No. I was just trying to think of like I can't think of a joke. It's one of those shows.
Yeah.
But this is the show.
I can talk more about Elden Ring.
it.
Okay, so Godric the Grafted is okay. Got it.
But just so I understand, Daniel, your reference to Elden Ring, you just took a guess.
I took a swing.
Because Daniel told me earlier, he told me that he was disoriented because, and I quote, I fell asleep listening, and I wrote it down. I fell asleep listening to your show. No offense.
I thought sound asleep.
Because
It wasn't even
Daniel,
really sleep. At a certain point, it was like medically something different.
he fell into a coma listening to my show.
Yeah.
That's nice that you listen to the
mild
show.
stroke.
That's a
Well,
nice.
It wasn't
You know,
for
nice,
enjoyment.
Sometimes I try to remind myself of things that were discussed so I can write the intro. And
There's a functional aspect to
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah, so you can get morsels like Amy Gustafson from the last
That's right.
time I was on, who, by the way, is really nice. She just,
Oh, I'm
you know,
sure.
we had a fight in 6th grade,
You
so
know.
F her. Just kidding. She's great.
she's eating it now. She's listening to this, and we're not listening to her.
Yeah, right?
That's a reference to something from Robin's journal, which I think we're going to hear a selection from later, which I'm very excited about. Daniel was talking like nonstop about the journal afterwards. He
Great.
wants
I loved
more.
It was like it was like the real life Valley Girl or something. Like it was the way you speak in that journal is like I know that person. Like it was such a it was great.
Thank you. There's so many more things that are so embarrassing that I found today.
I cannot.
I don't disappoint.
I cannot wait. But first, we have to talk about some important things. So, longtime listeners of this show know that I have been accused in the past of being anti-cat, which
Yeah.
I do not feel is
I haven't-
fair.
I have not. This is interesting. My antenna's up for this. As
I know.
someone who is, some would say, disgustingly pro cat.
That's kind of why cats can suck a dick. Kind of why.
Oh,
Oh, the drops say otherwise.
yeah.
That's kind
Or
of
was
why.
that me impersonating Allison? Yeah, we don't know.
That's kind of why I wanted you. I thought this would be a good topic to have you weigh in on, Jordan, because you know me and you know that I'm not anti-cat, right? Fuck you, cats.
That's okay. That I can tell. That's a little okay. That was
Yeah,
that was fake news. That was
right. These
That
are
was
deep
make
fakes.
those. For the
was
record,
a
I
deep
did
fake.
not make those.
Jeff
but she
deep
did tell me
faked
to
me.
play them.
That's how much. So anyway, this was like, I think it was Jeff that alleged this. I know maybe the listeners, came on board, but this is a charge that's been leveled at me in the past. And now it is following me to Upworthy Weekly, my weekly lighthearted news show, which I do with Todd
Yes.
Perry. It comes out on Saturdays because
He's
there's
a
like,
delight.
thank you. Wait, did you say he's a delight or it's a delight?
I said he's a delight, but I really meant you guys together are a delight. Sorry.
No, I'm the one who should say sorry. I just want to repeat what just happened. He's a delight. Thank you. No, I could say thank you. On behalf of him, I say thank you.
Of course you can.
Yeah. Thank you for thinking he's a delight. He's delightful. But there's now a groundswell of listeners of that show, there's some overlap, who feel there's some anti-cat action happening because they're like, why do you guys only talk about dog stories? Why not cat stories? cats are
Not
okay.
What editing genius put these seamless?
Cats are not okay.
Cats are bad.
And Todd, because on Upworthy, it's like a lot of stories about, some guy was hiking in the snow and fell down a ravine, and his Bernese mountain dog, protected him from hypothermia. Like, he had two dogs, and they split up, and one of them stayed with him and protected him from the cold, and another one got help. It's like dogs rescuing people. There's a fair amount of stories about that. And of course, we share those stories on the show, because who doesn't love a story of a beagle a beagle mix who rescues someone? I don't know if a pure beagle could rescue someone. No offense to pure beagles. But anyway, so Todd's whole argument, and I think he made it worse for us. His argument is this is not on us. This is on the cats. Cats are cute. They're adorable. They're clever. But when a cat rescues someone, when a cat makes news for doing something quote unquote Upworthy, then we'll do a cat story. But until that happens, we're only, we're presenting stories that are in Upworthy. So get it together, cats.
Complain to the cats. Don't complain to the host of the show.
Do you want to Allison, do you want to use this time to kind of clear the air? Can you kind of definitively say what your cat stance is? I mean, because I imagine it's yes, your cat stance.
Cats and cat people, I feel they're immoral fucknuts.
Now that didn't sound edited.
Now that's a cants.
Yeah.
There has been. I am being dragged through the mud. These drops are deep fakes. I think that's very clear. It's just funny that this is now on two different shows.
There's some Russian hacker farm putting these together.
And so there's a lot of cat videos being sent to the Upworthy weekly email address that we give out each time. And it's funny, but there's some real emotion behind it. A story did come in this week about a cat that had saved a toddler or something. So I think that there are some cases of cats rescuing people. Now, Todd apparently is wildly allergic to cats. Daniel is wildly allergic to cats. I am mildly, and I'm not intending to rhyme. I am allergic to cats, but not. It used to be a violent allergy, and it's lessened as I've gotten older. I find myself wanting to get a cat the older I get, which is I've never really had one. When I was little, there was a stray that we would feed, and when it rained, the stray would come in the house, but we never really.
That's cute.
Yeah, we've never had a cat, and I'm I feel like I could have a cat. So I like cats. Yeah, I rest my case. I like cats. That's it. The end.
There we go. That's your stance.
That's my stance. It's my cats.
But and the allergy has something to do with it. The reason you don't have them, there's not a million photos of you pressing your face into cats. It's a functional health issue. I
would have to the idea of pressing my face into a cat makes me nervous because I don't know what the result would be. I don't know how allergic I would become. But right now, what's standing between me and a cat is Daniel.
Okay. Daniel, what do you have to say for yourself? Maybe you've been.
I'm so allergic to cat. I mean, I can go into a place that had a cat in it recently and immediately tell. My eyes swell shut and the whole thing. My general, not love, I would call it a not love of cats, but not a dislike of cats. I think it's when I was a kid, I found cats to be unpleasant. They would scratch you and shit.
Sure.
And so it's why? It's I don't want bees as a pet either.
I think we found the real comparing cats to bees. What an analogy. Okay, I think listeners direct your hate to quants.
Right.
This is where the
it's a one-to-one comparison.
A bad cants, quants. Listen, as a cat lover, I understand that when you see someone else's cat, you want to play with it, and it's maybe not comfortable around you yet, so it's weird or it's aggressive. And I think that learning to be a super cat person, one kind of has to get used to you, and you kind of have to earn its trust. I have heard them described as a lesson in consent. You have to like kind of earn them. You can't just pick them up if they don't want to be picked up.
Wait.
So yeah,
I don't want to throw you off your train of thought,
That's okay.
but who described it as a lesson in consent, and was that tongue in cheek or was this earnest?
I think this was like an earnest like tweet. This was I know. I'm quoting a tweet and I don't remember who did it.
No, it's okay. That's not the problem. The problem I have is not with that. The problem I have, I think, is with the person who tweeted it, unless we like this person, in which case, cool.
I don't know who it is, so we can drag them. Go ahead, drag away.
But I do think this person meant, they really meant consent in the way that it was supposed to be.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Then I'll allow it.
Sure.
No, I'm actually joking. I'm just saying it's weird to talk about consent with cats. That's what I'm saying.
You're right. Yeah, perhaps we're diminishing some other issues we have societally by doing a cat tweet on Twitter.
Okay.
Absolutely, yes. But I where was I going with this? I understand, like, if you have never bonded with a cat and gotten its feces brainworms into your skull, you could feel a little bit chilly about them.
Pretty much. And then I had a friend in college, and she found a kitten in, like, it was a feral, cat's baby. So it was like 2 generations of feral cat. And this cat hated humans. And she held on to this cat because she, got it dewormed and everything. It was her cat. And it was the kind of thing where it's like, if you weren't paying, I learned not to pay any attention to this cat, but if you were sitting and your hand dared to, like, just be relaxed, at a low level, the cat would attack your hand, just attack it. Like, with just.
Were you holding a handful of tuna? Just a handful of tuna salad? Because that might have been it.
It was just like, you're not helping the cause, cat.
I think this cat needs to be mindful of the larger kind of public opinion about cats.
Yeah, dogs get the public relations aspect of their job as dogs. Cats don't. They don't pay attention to it. Dogs are all on board with
but
the
it's
project.
like a neighborhood. Like, would you say the same thing about like a neighborhood dog that is poorly trained in barking? Is that dog doing something to?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Injure.
There's no such
dog
thing.
PR.
Daniel, do you see how you're centering your own experience here?
I'm centering my own experience in my opinion.
Yes. Do you see how that's problematic?
No.
We're really learning a lot today. This is a really...
Yeah,
it's
it's a deep
yes,
dive.
we are.
We're all unpacking our privilege.
Yeah.
Almost any dog, you can go up and just go, "You're so cute. Oh my God." And they're fine with it. You dangle a fucking finger below waist level, and in my experience,
gosh, we found the anti-cat villain.
We'll try to scratch your skin off.
And I'm going to center my own experience now in my fight against the allegation that I am anti-cat, because this is now a pattern. It's beginning to feel Sisyphusian. Each time I make a speech like the one I've made, where I feel that I come off
very
diplomatic, political, pristine, princess-like. You could imagine a diplomatic, pristine princess giving that speech in a world where we all respect princesses. And I'd like to go back in time and take out the reference to princess. It's not really helping my cause. But I don't know why I said it. But anyway, yes, I just feel like I'm saying, what I'm saying makes sense. And then someone on my show tries to make a similar argument, but what really comes out is that they really have a problem with cats. And I feel like it kind of like undermines me. This is now the second time this has happened.
So it's kind of like a bias. So you feel like you maybe are associating with some anti-cat people, and it's people are just assuming that
yes,
you're
because
giving them a platform.
I remember Alan Moss And I love Al. How can one not love Al? But he was like, your cats are okay. Like, but then he told a story about like when his family's cat died, and like, it really was no big deal because no one liked the cat or something. Do you remember that, Daniel?
So sad.
Barely, yeah.
I think it was like they liked the cat. I can't remember. But basically, there's two kinds of people in this argument. There's me, and then there's the people who actually for whom those drops should have been made.
Look, I have come around on cats.
Doesn't sound like
it. It doesn't sound like it.
I am just telling you what my experience has been with cats and why I have just been neutral to negative about them generally. But in recent years, I've come to learn that cats have some kind of value to people.
Oh my God.
But I will tell you, we tragically lost a dog, and we were in a grief support group, and there were people there who had lost their cat. And at first I was like, this isn't the same thing.
Oh boy.
Wow.
And then I realized I was wrong.
Wow.
I was wrong.
It was every bit
I
the same
I couldn't
thing.
understand how you could love a cat the way one would love a dog. But that was me being
doggist.
Some might say it's a richer relationship because it requires a little bit of work.
Yes, I get that now. But my experience, my opinions.
Sure. You've grown, you've evolved.
I've learned a lot in the ensuing years. That's how I felt at the time.
This is really nice. Nobody's raising their voices. This is a very
very
measured conversation.
Robin, what about you?
Not a cat person.
Oh,
lived with a lot of cats in college and can't stand them.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Can't stand them.
I had no idea.
Oh my God.
Well, those
Can't
college
stand 'em.
cats, always drunk, eating your food, bumming
Playing
rides,
College cats.
Playing bongos.
playing
And
bongos
I
in the
think-
quad.
The revenge that the universe got on me is she's sitting on the futon right now, but I adopted a dog who acts like a cat. She cleans herself. She sips water like a cat. She has a personality of a cat. So I have a cat dog.
Is she finicky?
Yes. Oh my God. So finicky. Such a little snob. So it's a real dislike for me, and I think it's familial. I think my father hated cats. And in fact, there were plenty of times throughout my childhood where like the server would bring my dinner, whatever I ordered.
And it was a cat?
No, it was a cat, full cat.
Yeah.
I
The cat had
remember
cooked
one
the
time
meal.
We were at like a
a cat
deli
chef.
and I ordered tuna fish, and my dad goes, "That looks like a cat threw up." And
Were you at Katz's Deli?
we were in Kansas.
That's
my God.
That's a fun
fun.
connection. We're having fun.
I will never forget it. I was like, "What? I did not order cat throw up, Dad. It's my tuna sandwich." But no, not a cat person. Vehemently against.
Is now we're getting somewhere. Is
Yeah.
cat vomit qualitatively different than dog vomit? Because I've seen a lot of dog vomit, and that could pass for a like disgusting looking meal too.
Cats. Cats they're barfy animals, and I think you have barf, and then you have hairballs. So
Oh,
you kind of
gotcha.
have two different kinds of mouth-based gunk that you're going to find every now and then.
Disease gets in through the mouth, people.
Robin, do you feel your dad was comparing your tuna fish sandwich to a hairball or to cat vomit?
Just straight up cat vomit. Like,
Okay.
he's not a man for nuance. He doesn't even know what a hairball is. He hates Hawaii. What can we say about this man? He's just says what he thinks, and he thought that looked like cat vomit.
Okay, so Daniel and Robin pretty anti-cat, although Daniel claims...
No. I used to be anti-cat.
Okay, Daniel...
No, Robin's. I think perhaps Robin is the heel that the cat people need
I
to
know.
turn their anger on.
Tony,
Yeah.
where are you? Where do you
I'm
come
sorry.
down?
I am like kind of similar to Daniel. I never hated them or anything, but I was never a cat person. I'm still much more of a dog person, and I also am allergic. It's gotten better as I've gotten older. I used to not be able to be in any house that had a cat, like for any period of time.
Wow.
Now it's totally just I never know. I can go to some people's house and I'm immediately a disaster. Other people's house, I'm totally fine. I can play with the cat, and it's I don't know. But I tend to always like the cats that I meet that I like are usually the ones that act like dogs. I have found, like where they're just like actually like very friendly and will actually like play fetch and stuff like that. And because I feel like I also know some people who have cats that just like hide the entire. As soon as someone comes over, they just go hide.
Well,
and,
I doubt there's many people who are taken with that behavior.
Yeah, I know, and I mean, there's only, and you don't know. It's same. I mean, dogs can be the same way, where like you don't know what this animal's going to be like until you live with them.
But I think there's kind of an element of like if you see somebody's like cat on Instagram or something, and you go over to their house, you're like, I'm going to get a snuggle this cat, and then if it's there's a certain amount like oh, you're too good to me. Well, you're too good. What are you doing that's not getting snuggled by me?
Right.
So I get that. It can come off as snobby, I think.
What's Bug like with new people?
Bug's pretty good with new people. Bug is my cat. I love her. She's my world.
Bug, honey, don't.
There you go.
I love the name Bug.
Yeah,
so cute.
it's fun. Her name at the shelter was Sugarcane, and I'm like, we're gonna change this lame shit real quick. But Bug is pretty good with new people. She's curious. She doesn't want to be like handled immediately, but if she
does.
Yeah, right. Tell me about it. In this economy, yeah, with gas prices like they are, I don't know. What does this mean? But she's pretty open to like meeting new people, and I think if you like come and sit nicely, she wants to come down and sit on your lap. So yeah, she's a very nice cat, and I think definitely a charmer even to people who are cat skeptics. So.
All right, Bug, I'm excited to maybe meet you one day. I'm just going to say, Bug, you've opened my mind.
Where is she? She's over. Maybe I could point the camera.
Oh, Bug.
Wait, I don't see her.
Is she
Patreon.com.
by the pillow?
She's by my shirt from the last episode.
Patreon.com/Allison Rosen. Has anyone seen Bug? Am I just blind? Did anyone see a cat?
Is Bug black? Is Bug a black cat
she's
by the
gray,
pillows?
yeah. Let's
Gray.
see.
I see.
Simpsons pillow over there.
Yeah, I think your mug might be
be.
blocking her a little bit.
Okay. Whoop.
There we go.
Oh, yeah. I think I just see her. Oh, okay.
She's snuggling. Listener, she's snuggling with a Krusty the Clown pillow.
That's cute.
Yeah, I have a cool.
Jordan, I like that you changed your shirt. That's a true professional.
Thank you. I thought we were going to do another photo. No, I did spill something on the shirt, so I had to change. But also, I'm like, yeah, we'll get a new photo out of this. Everybody's probably going to do a costume change. It's like going to see Bette Midler in Vegas, right?
I literally thought of it while I was peeing in between. I was like, should I change shirts? Should we do new photos? And then I thought, no. That's the show.
My shirt has a dog on it. I'm being diplomatic. I want to welcome the other side.
I always side with the underdog, and I have empathy for the underdog in life. And I'm realizing that cat people are persecuted. And so I think that I need to...
Yes, thank you. Yes, we are. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you do it, Jordan.
Going through, I didn't realize. I'm very brave.
I didn't realize the plight. I didn't realize how hard it is. I mean, look, you are one of 5 right now, but I'm going to come over to your side. I'm a cat person now.
Wow,
and I'm sorry.
Amazing.
I extend my apology and my support to all the cat people out there because I didn't realize how many just ardently anti-cat, proudly anti-cat people there are. And the cat, I would dump him in a cup and then pour some almond milk and drown it in Truvia.
That also didn't sound edited.
I'll say sometimes being a cat person is a little bit like living in LA in that, like, if you just meet somebody, you know, and you're like, oh, I'm from LA, they'll just like tell you why they think it sucks. And like, it fucking sucks. And they like, were here once.
That's a great analogy.
Just went to Hard Rock Cafe and they're like, here's why it sucks and everyone's fake and no one reads. Like, and you're like, you know, I live here, right? You rude dick. Why don't I? Now I can just assume that people from wherever you are rude dicks. Anyway, but I think sometimes when you're like, I have a cat, like people will this happened to me a lot, like online dating. I would tell people I had a cat, and then there would just be a 5-minute moth caliber monologue about why they don't like cats. I'm like, I have one, right? Like, don't do this to my face at this fucking gastropub. Anyway. So yes, sometimes people can be a little insensitive about these various topics. Anyway. But I understand preferring dogs or another pet, like a bird or whatever.
Jordan, you know what I think you should do instead of go on a date and listen to someone insult you to your face? You should stay home and enjoy some delicious plant-based meals. We all know we are what we eat, but it can be tough to make time for shopping, meal planning, prepping, and cooking. So why not get straight to the good part with great meals that we require no prep whatsoever. Splendid Spoon sends delicious plant-based meals and snacks right to your door. It's ready-to-eat food designed to fit into your busy schedule instead of taking time out of it. So yeah, this is not a meal box where you have ingredients and then you spend time cooking it and putting it together. These are meals. You receive meals that are already cooked and you put them into your refrigerator or you can freeze them. And they are delicious and they are all plant-based. We have soups and entrees. They are all so good. The mushroom soup, the butternut squash, the rigatoni, meatballs, plant-based meatballs. And then we also have smoothies. The raspberry cacao smoothie was Daniel. I tried it. Daniel had the rest of it.
Yummy.
So good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
really good.
We have a coconut lime one in the refrigerator, which I am I cannot wait to try that one. Then there's some green juice in there as well. It's all so good. So Splendid Spoon fits into any schedule, and there's a meal plan for everyone. And you'll only lift a finger to press start on your microwave. This stuff is ready to eat. Every meal plan is customizable, so you get what you want every time. It's 100% plant-free, gluten-free, and GMO-free. Always made with plenty of vegetables, legumes, healthy fats, whole grains, and spices from all over the world. Enjoy a fresh take on classic dishes like their fan favorite vegan meatballs and marinara noodles, or take your taste buds on a journey with exciting dishes like cauliflower tikka soup. Plenty of smoothies, grain bowls, soup bowls, and noodle bowls for you to discover. With over 50 choices and a constantly rotating menu, there's always new dishes to try. Try Splendid Spoon today and take meal planning off your plate. Just go to splendidspoon.com/Allison for $50 off your first box when you subscribe to the breakfast, lunch, and reset plan or the breakfast, lunch, dinner, and reset plan. That's splendidspoon.com/Allison for $50 off. Again, that's splendidspoon.com/Allison for $50 off. Also, we are supported by Peacock's Below Deck Down Under. Good day, Yachties. Your favorite reality franchise is charting a course for Australia in Peacock's new original series, Below Deck Down Under. On a super yacht near the Great Barrier Reef, it's not just the waves that rock the boat. Each charter of outrageous guests presents new challenges for the yachty hotties, but you can count on them to work hard and play harder. Besides, there may be sharks in the water, but this crew has a bite of its own. Fan fave Aisha from Below Deck Med is back as Chief Stew, while hunky newcomer Jason has everyone saying, aye, aye, Captain. Add in yacht-sized egos and dueling deckhands, and you can bet there's drama on the horizon. If you're looking for the ultimate escape, pull up that anchor and come aboard. Below Deck Down Under is streaming now with new episodes every Thursday, only on Peacock. Okay. Let's see. A lot to get to here.
Peacock. That was the Peacock.
I like that Peacock ad copy.
Thank you.
And by the way, Below Deck is
I wrote it myself.
My favorite show.
It's great.
So
We
good.
need to get
There's
back
below
into it.
deck heads out there. I'm always
such
surprised.
a deckhead. I'm such a deckhead.
I was late to get into that show, and then was it during the pandemic, Daniel? It was at the very beginning of it. We watched so many seasons. I haven't watched the Australia one yet.
I haven't either. But Aisha's she's great for cheese stew. She's gonna do great.
We were super into Ben, the
I
chef.
watched the whole Ben on it.
Yeah. We liked Ben.
Ben's amazing.
How do you
Ben
feel
did
about
about who? Sorry.
Kate?
Well,
Chief Stew
listen.
Kate.
Kate gets the job done. She's actually really fun to follow on Twitter, Kate Chastain.
She's
I need to
hilarious.
follow her.
And she's really funny. I like that she knows how to make a dick out of a towel and put it on the primary's bed.
What were you saying about Ben?
Ben, my sister emailed me like last year or something, and she was like, is this a big deal? Ben is doing a demonstration at my brother-in-law's law firm. He was doing like a cooking demonstration.
That's
and I was
cool.
like, can you give me the link to that? Like, this is a huge deal. And Kate and Ben are now on a show where they watch Below Deck together.
What?
Yeah.
Wait.
It's like,
This rings a bell. We knew about this, right, Daniel?
I'm aware of stuff like that.
it's like the People's Couch, but for Below Deck.
Right.
And it's
Right.
like all the former cast members being like, you know, when people, it's actually, Kate said something really funny when like there's a new romance on deck. Kate's always just like, these people have known each other for 40 hours. Like they just got on board and they're all like, we go way back. Like he's been my day one. And it's like, it's still day one. But I love it. I love it.
To the deckheads out there, does it make you want to go on a yacht or a super yacht?
No.
No.
Nope.
No.
That's not
I
part of
watch it aspirationally because I get very, 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 very seasick. I can't even do stand-up paddling.
We're so the same. I have this new thing now where any show I see where they're on a boat, it happened on The Sopranos. There's some season where they're on a boat. And then what were we watching recently, Daniel, where they were on a boat? Was it Real Housewives?
Yeah, it was Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. I don't know for sure if that's
didn't
it,
watch
what
that.
you watched.
No,
that's-
but were they on
No, the Salt Lake City gals did not get on a
there's-
boat.
there was something where someone was on a. Anytime I see anyone on a boat on TV, it just reminds me that I would never want to be on a boat.
no way.
Because I get seasick too, but it's gotten to the point where I get seasick just watching a boat on television. It's not good.
Yeah,
The
that
yacht
makes sense.
experience, I don't get it. Like I watch these shows and I'm always like left with this feeling of why are you spending so much? If I could spend that much money on a trip, this is not what I would choose to do. I would
Right.
go to a resort. I much prefer going to a big, nice resort for the amount of money they spend.
So
then
much
to-
money that, yeah.
You know, and it's like the quarters are always like kind of like
Cramped. Tony, have you
Old or
been on a
whatever.
cruise? Have you done like a rock cruise?
No, never have, and I have no desire to.
yeah.
I'm not against a boat, but I don't have any desire for a cruise. It does not sound fun to me. And just being in the middle of the ocean is not where I want to be.
Yeah.
I have been. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Daniel.
Oh, I was going to say, I have been left with this understanding that being a parent prepares you to be a chief stew on one of these yachts because they have to dealing with the very, very rich and all of their particular demands. It's a lot like, you know, because our boys would be like, I'm not going to drink out of the blue cup. I need a green cup. I need, you know, and it's like everything is just, you know, has to be just fucking so. And it has to happen now.
Right. There's a new episode of Below Deck on tonight. I'm not saying that I'm excited to watch it, but I am. And the group of people that they had to wait on, this particular whatever, these guests, these primaries, whatever, were so heinous. Like the guy, the primary, the guy was like walking around on a fedora, ranting and raving about how he's like, I've had better food at a ballpark. And
God.
like he's just insulting everybody. And then they nervously serve him the next meal, and he takes like. And by the way, he had an underbite crossbite, which I have. One of my dear friends has one, but it just is worse coming out of an underbite crossbite mouth. But he was just like that. You know, the camera sort of zooms in on him as he's eating, and they're so nervous, and he's like, "Yeah, it's good, it's good." And it's just like, you're a piece of shit.
It's like fuck you.
They're so mean. But then I'm like, do they go on the show because they have to pay
Right.
for it? But like, do they go on the show because they want to be on TV during their vacation?
That's
I
what's
don't
weird
know.
is that they pay for this experience where they know they're going to be portrayed in a very negative light, right?
You have to wonder a little bit if they're putting it on.
Do you remember, did anybody see the episode, and we don't have to talk about Below Deck the whole time, but there was this girl who refused to share a room with another girl. There were 2 twin beds in the room, or 2 queen beds. And then Captain Lee was like, and she was like, I refuse to share a bed. And Captain Lee slept in the living room and gave her his quarters.
Oh, that does ring a bell. That rings a bell.
That was tough. Guys, these people suck.
Has anybody seen any like videos or articles about that Star Wars hotel where everyone's in character all the time?
Who is it? Brooke McDonald and
Carly
Wiesel have both done it, and they both have done Insta stories that I've read and watched. So I'm a little bit familiar with it.
Tony, I know you're a Star Wars guy, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Does that sound fun to you? That like kind of weekend where you're like in Star Wars?
No, in theory, sure, but the actual the whole like I was actually talking about it with Daniel when I saw him. The whole like interactive part of it, people in character and all that, like I don't. It would be cool to see. I would like to see it, but I don't want to do all the interactive stuff.
You don't want to participate.
No, I'm not a participator.
I don't want to like do any leisure thing where I feel like I'm doing improv.
Yes, that's what it sounds like.
Right.
Well, that's what I've heard, is that like it's just like your time there is just like packed full of all these things you're supposed to do, and they're like, I don't want that.
Yeah,
I don't want that.
I think it's
I don't
for.
want to see that.
It seems like it's really for kids. Like,
Yeah.
For sure.
Kids.
And nerds. Sorry, but like people who are like going to save all their money and go to the Star Wars hotel.
Sure.
Oh God. Now the cat people and the Star Wars people.
Wow,
They're gonna come
yeah,
after
no,
you.
do it. Lean in. Who else can we hit? Who else is volatile online? You have anything to say about Marvel? Batman.
You know what sounds like a much more fun use of time? Staying home and playing Switchcraft. So Switchcraft is this super fun game. It's a match 3 game, but it's also like it's got this story. So I feel like match 3 games can be a lot of fun, but it seems like most of them are the same. The themes and characters change, but overall it's kind of the same boring format until now. Switchcraft is a brand new take on the match 3 game. As you play, you unlock pieces of beautiful, magical, and gripping pieces of a beautiful, magical, and gripping graphic novel. It's a mobile game with a unique blend of TV-worthy writing, choose-your-own-adventure-style narrative, and thousands of magical Match 3 levels. So in Switchcraft, you take on the role of a witch at Pendle Hill, the world's top academy of witchcraft. You play your way through hundreds of enchanting Match 3 levels, revealing a dark and winding mystery story. It all starts with the disappearance of your best friend, and now it's up to you to unravel the mystery of her disappearance using your magical Match 3 skills, and along the way you'll find unique characters, a gripping story, and even a little romance. The best part is that your choices in the game determine the outcome of the story, so you're in the driver's seat. I really enjoy playing this game because I want to know what happens next. And as you guys like, I'm not a quote unquote gamer. This game is great for people who are not quote unquote gamers, but also I think that even if you are a gamer, you will enjoy it as well, because like I said, it's got the 2 pillars. It's got the really, gripping story, really great graphics, but then it's also got the match 3 stuff. So, the match 3 it's just a really clever use of the match 3. That pops up at different points, so your interest is held the entire time. And I recommend it highly. Download Switchcraft for free and unlock the magical mystery. Again, download Switchcraft for free and unlock the magical mystery. It seems a new guest has joined the show. That's
I forgot to lock the
Hello,
door.
Owen. Why don't you
Hi.
do you want to put the headphones on him so we can say hi? Hi, Owen. Hi, Owen. Can you hear us?
What are you doing right now?
Mommy.
Yeah, hi, Owen.
Come on.
What you doing?
Take a bath.
Yeah.
Do you have any hot takes?
Nice.
Hey, Owen, what's a cat say?
What did you
I
say?
need help.
Oh, that's what cats say.
Why don't you go
Sometimes they
back?
do say that.
Look, it's our Below Deck primary charter guest right here. What are his demands?
What does he need help with, Daniel?
Have to.
Pretty cute. Pretty
know
cute.
What is happening?
That's a cute kid, Allison. You made a
Thank
cute
you.
kid.
When's he getting his podcast? When's it
Yep.
happening?
Any day, probably.
Kid casts.
On the episode of the Monday show. So when everyone hears this, I believe at the end of the Monday show that ran this week, so it's already out, Elliot sings a little song at the very end, which is super fucking cute, unless I'm confusing which shows it is, but I'm pretty sure it is that show. So if you need more of my children, which I'm sure some of you need less, but many of you might need more, go check out that episode, which has Daniel and me and Elliot at the very end. What did Owen need help with, Daniel?
Oh, he just wanted mommy.
Oh,
He came in. Yeah.
oh, I see. It's close to bedtime.
Very cute.
All right. We need to hear Robin's diary entry, but real fast, I just want to bring up a topic that is one of my favorite things to talk about. It's a crowd favorite, and it has to do with bowels. So I was watching TikTok, and somehow I have found myself seeing a lot of I'm like on the bariatric surgery section of TikTok, where it's like a lot of people who've had gastric bypass or gastric sleeve surgery, which I find like fascinating watching their videos. And so there was this woman who I've seen a lot of her stuff, and across the screen it said itty bitty shitty committee. And I was like, oh, I did not know that was a side effect of this surgery, but it turns out it's not at all. She was just talking about like negative voices in her head, which she refers to as the itty bitty shitty committee. But I totally thought it was like she was talking about the side effects of the surgery, like being her bowels.
It shrinks your turds.
Yep, like little rabbit poops.
Yeah, a little circular.
I never
poops.
honestly ever knew that until this moment.
But it's not a side effect of it.
You have normal sized.
I actually don't know how it affects your poops, but this TikTok she was just talking about having like negative self-talk. I've not yet found any evidence of how it affects your poop, but I feel like it should, right? But anyway, here's my question. I'm realizing this. I'm leaving out a. You know what? Look, I'll just say it because I can't remember because I've tweeted about it. I do have itty bitty shitties. It is
you think your turds are smaller than the average turd?
Oh, I know they are.
How do you know? I guess is with the question that immediately jumps to mind.
Because I have experienced normal bowel movements in my life, but then
they've shrunk over time.
Yes.
You feel like
Are
you're
you eating less?
No, I don't think it's that. It's not. It's that. I think my tweet was something like, "Me, could I please just have like one normal adult human bowel movement, and then my body? How about 37 tiny ones?" It's a real popular tweet. But anyway, here's my question: does everyone take something or do something to help have normal bowel movements? Like, is that just a thing we all have to do at this age? Because Daniel, I'm going to put your butt on blast.
Oh, literally.
Do we talk?
Butt blast.
Do we talk about your Metamucil? Teehee.
I guess we do now.
What's your brand? Plug it. Maybe you'll get a free case.
Just regular Metamucil. I take it at night. Well, I started taking it. I think I mentioned this a few episodes ago. I was working at a company where the bathrooms were single occupancy,
That's tough.
and
that's
people
really rough.
had cubicles right outside of those.
Oh.
So if you went number 2 and then you opened the door, that poor
That
soul
sucks, yeah.
would get a waft of your morning breeze. And I didn't want to do that to people.
He didn't want his wind song to stay on their mind.
That's right. And so I tried to get myself on a morning schedule where I could go before I went to work. And I found that the best way to do that was take a little Metamucil right before bed. And then, you need to go pretty much when you wake up or thereabouts. Good to go. And I just stayed on that schedule.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering.
Good. I don't get enough fiber in my diet either. So that's part of it.
Thank you. It's very detailed. Thank you. Does everyone do something along that order? Is that just the barrel we're staring down at this age?
I
feel like I feel like when I'm about 3/4 of the way through the coffee I drink every morning, it is time.
It's go time.
It's butt blast time.
You're on a butt blast.
I'm on. Yeah, you just got butt blasted.
You just got blasted.
See, we're doing live drops.
I love it.
Live drops with Robin and Jordan.
Yeah,
Jordan, I do have a drop. I do have a drop of yours that fits this conversation.
Oh, let's hear it. I mean, I like poop. I think poop works. There you go.
I do not remember what that was in reference to, but
But it's a drop.
Fun for any situation. But I do have a. Sometimes things will get backed up, and I have a bottle of like stool softener that I'll throw in with my like morning fish oils if things are getting backed up, and that's a every other month kind of thing.
Great. Okay, so you don't have a daily regimen or anything.
No, yeah. Usually the coffee kind of helps.
Coffee does
along.
it.
But we're all getting older.
Right. Robin, you're just au naturel.
I feel like about 10 years ago, I had to take psyllium husk for something. Isn't that the same?
That's
thing as
Metamucil, yeah.
Basically the
Yeah.
same.
So
Sounds
I
like an
can't.
Elden Ring pickup. Anyway,
Oh.
get those to.
But no, I've been blessed in this area, apparently.
Wonderful.
Blessed
Very
with
healthy
regularity.
bowels.
Good.
Tony, I'm going to cut this. It's your turn now.
yeah. No, I'm kind of basically the same as Robin, and I guess kind of like Jordan, where like the coffee usually does the job. That's not why I'm drinking it, but it's what tends to happen. But nothing else though beyond that. I don't have anything on standby or anything.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for allowing me to ask these very personal questions.
I don't know what the size of mine are like compared to the median average human poop.
I mean, you would know though if it was like Raisinets.
You're right. I would.
You would.
I would know that. I would know that.
I mean, that's an exaggeration, but you would know if there
You're
was
right.
like something silly happening. If comedy was coming out of your butt, like
Right.
what?
Yeah, I don't need that.
Yes, you don't.
I'm having enough trouble getting it out of the mouth. Or
Drops on drops.
or the fingertips. Yes, comedy can flow from many extremities.
I think it might be time for us. Wait, to hear this Robin Diary entry. Yes, I think it is.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I went through it. You can see on Patreon, I made some.
Oh my
was going
gosh.
through it and I was like, oh, that one's funny. That one's funny. So what I thought I would do, I found 3 that kind of I think are kind of related. So and they're
Amazing.
relatively short. Should I read them all 3 of them
Yes,
together?
please.
All right. Are you ready?
We're ready. Okay,
Wait,
so
did I
Yes.
miss what age is this? What age were you writing this?
I am 13 here.
oh my god, amazing.
Prime
yeah.
diary.
13. Yes. Okay. September 13th, 1989. You do the math. Well, a lot has happened since my last entry. We had a barbecue and the regular spiel went on. Saturday, Alan Hecht threw a party and it was really great until they all wanted to play Spin the Bottle with tongue. Jeez.
Gosh, usually you
I
just
had
use
to
a bottle.
I had to kiss Justin and Tweez. Even though I sort of was seeing Justin at camp, I was talking and he just came up and started kissing me, bastard.
My gosh.
I still love Dave Bordeaux. I seriously have never liked anyone a bit more than him. It sounds super corny, but he just sheds off a glow. He's so neat. I just wrote him a 5-page letter. He's probably forgotten who I am and will never write back. I have weird feelings. A couple of nights ago, I went out with 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. And it was so cool because they totally accepted me. What should I do about Dave Bordeaux? Should I keep dreaming? What's the use? Every girl at Brandeis probably wants his body. Sad face.
Wow.
Mom said I could get an agent. Happy face. I'm so happy and so confused. Love, Robin. Okay, so
Oh my
that's the
God.
first one.
This is amazing.
I liked how you were kind of being chill about the guy who you had feelings for at camp. You're like, I mean, I was kind of seeing him at camp. Like, even at 13, you're like, it's not like we're not exclusive.
I mean, I know who that guy was, and I was totally not seeing him. Let me just be real clear about that.
Sure.
Bear with me for 1 second. Tomorrow, here we go. Tomorrow, December 21st, 1989. Tomorrow, we all head over to Phoenix. Could I be more excited? This is pre-Friends. Could I also please not have less of a chance with Chad? Oi, I still think Mick Jagger is cute. Today, Rosie and I worked out. Yesterday, Jeremy Deutschman called, and we had the usual boring conversation. Tomorrow, Tomorrow I'll be seeing Mandy for the first time in 5 months. After all the phone calls and tears, I'm finally going to see her. I can't believe it. I'm jumping out of my skin. Last year when I saw her, we totally cried and I left and we weren't even good friends. I also don't know how I'll be able to tell her that her boyfriend, who I won't name, is such a putz. I don't care how cute he is. Well, I'm bushed. In world news, President Bush just declared war on Panama.
Bush, that's fun.
This is who I will pick. These are my picks for who will win the Oscars. Best Actor, Tom Cruise for Born on the 4th of July or Morgan Freeman in Driving Miss Daisy. Best Movie, Do the Right Thing or Born on the 4th of July. Best Actress, Jessica Tandy, no contest.
Do you follow up who actually won these years?
Jessica Tandy definitely won and Morgan Freeman definitely won.
You can pick them.
What?
You can pick them, it sounds like.
I know how to pick them. There's one about my
Did you insert just a non sequitur about Mick Jagger still being?
Yes.
Did I hear that?
Yes.
That was the most random.
Do you remember the Steel Wheels tour?
Yeah.
I really liked the Steel Wheels tour. There's one about me trying a tampon for the first time. Wait, here's I'll call today my Rolling Stones Day. Why? Because I have so many mixed emotions. That was a song.
Wow.
That was a song on the Steel Wheels tour. Okay. Today was the camp reunion. I saw some people from Hilltop and they didn't even remember me. Oh well. My mom and dad moved out of their bedroom today and we're remodeling our house. It looks so ugly. By the way, Rosie is beginning to annoy me. She thinks she can just throw me around on flake on me whenever she feels the need. Her mom's boyfriend bugs the shit out of me. I don't know anyone and I'm kind of depressed right now. Nothing ever seems permanent. My birthday is in a month from today.
Wow.
Okay, this is really good. So I went to this is from March 1st, 1990. Here I am, a brand new month with fresh new grievances. Today we had the 8th grade favorites for everything. I was nominated for Class Clown, Best Smile, and Most Spirited. I really didn't mind that I only lost Class Clown by 1 vote, but everyone was bugging me about how I should have been Class Clown. It gets annoying. And then, I write about how this guy who is at Princeton keeps writing me letters. So I was in 8th grade and there was a guy at Princeton writing letters to me. I'm not going to name his name. And then here's the thing. I went to a Skid Row concert.
Ooh,
Last night was the March 6, 1990. Last night was the concert. It was so much fun. I'm going to marry Sebastian Bach. I love Skid Row. They're the best. Aerosmith was pretty incredible, but I kept my mind on skids. I was supposed to go with Kristen and Castine, but they got suspended. Can you believe? They had possession of a lighter on campus. I can't get my mind off of Sebastian and how he sung I Remember You a cappella. I snuck into Carl's fourth period class today, and we just sort of stared at each other. He's pretty cool. My one problem is that Nicole A likes him. Oh, geez. Tomorrow, I find out if I'm on drill team in high school. I hope I make it. Anyway, you said Anyway, I hope I make it, please. I have to start reading. You said, and then there's a quote. You said, I love you, babe, without a sound. I'd give my life just for one kiss. I don't know what that's from.
Is it possibly Skid Row?
I know, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah. It's Skid Row. There's a lot of Skid Row in here. In fact, if you're on Patreon, you can see I wrote Skid Row rules.
Wow.
So...
There's never a bad time to rock and roll, man.
Do you still keep up with like Skid Row? Do you still like play it in the car and stuff?
No, but that concert was pretty awesome. And I do have to give my mom credit because Kristen's dad was supposed to take us to that concert and they got suspended. And my mom, God love her soul, took me to the Forum to see Aerosmith and Skid Row. And during the song I Remember You, like the person in front of us like lit a blowtorch. And it was just like an intense experience. And she really showed up. My mom took me to Skid Row.
Check it out. Nice.
I'm trying to find the one where I get my period. So gross.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
But I can't find it. So yeah, those are my diary entries.
That was amazing.
Wow.
Thank you so much for sharing. I identify with a lot. I don't know if all girls that age are kind of the same or if we're just especially similar.
I think we're
that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to know if listeners are like, I strongly identify with that too from that age. I think we're especially similar, and I think there's something about being that age. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I just love that.
You're welcome. Tomorrow I go see Skid Row. Aerosmith should be scary, but incredible because Sebastian is pretty beautiful. Yeah. I just poked myself in the eye with my diary.
Oh, no. Metaphorical and literal.
We were talking about diaries, and then the segment before that, we were talking about diarrhea.
I know.
Oh.
You guys, this has been so delightful. Thank you so much. Listeners, if you are listening and you're thinking, I need more, then make sure you're subscribed. And also, I am doing a newsletter now. Subscribe to that, AllisonRosen.substack.com. AllisonRosen.substack.com. It's me, but in written form. Listen to my other podcast, Childish and Upworthy Weekly. I already mentioned Patreon. And follow me on social media at Allison Rosen on Twitter and Instagram. And Robin, where do we find you?
At Robin Shorr on Instagram.
Wonderful. Jordan, what about you?
Yeah, I do a chat podcast, not unlike this one, called Jordan Jesse Go. Allison's been on a number of times. You can find that at MaximumFun.org or wherever you get your podcasts. And the graphic novel I co-wrote, Bubble, is still available. Thank you. Is now available at wherever you would get a book or a comic book. Yeah, that's it.
Perfect. Daniel?
Follow me at Daniel Quantz on Twitter and Instagram.
And Tony.
Twitter and Instagram at
Tony Thaxton.
Tony Thaxton.
Bizarre Albums every Tuesday.
Thank you guys so much. Listeners, thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Allison Rosen Show? We had a good time, but now we gotta go.